Salute to Bristol Hospital and our World War II nurses. The seeds of Bristol's wartime nursing legacy were planted years before the first bombs fell in Europe. In 1925, Bristol Hospital began planning its nursing school, drawing immediate interest from 40 prospective students. By 1929, the school welcomed its first class of 7 determined young women. Though brief, operating only until 1937, the school graduated 55 nurses who would soon play crucial roles in one of history's greatest conflicts. In 1981, a nostalgic reunion unfolded in the former nursing school of Bristol Hospital, captured by Bristol Press reporter Kathy Rivard. As former students Stella Kornacki and Lois Kilbourne stood in what was once the school's parlor, their expressions were, as Rivard noted, both wistful and disappointed. The women shared stories from their training days, including amusing yet unsettling tales of having to summon police when voyeurs would attempt to peer into the parlor from behind the building. The nursing school, which served as both educational facility and residence, earned high praise in Bristol Hospital's 1927 annual report, which lauded it as extremely attractive and comfortable, one of the most beautiful and practical homes for nurses in Connecticut. The 3-story building, complete with basement, featured modest but well-appointed rooms. A particular highlight was the sun porch, which, according to Lois Kilbourne's playful recollection, proved perfect for sunbathing a la nude. The education, though rigorous, left an indelible mark on its students. As Stella Kornacki reflected, it was like slave labor, but in return we received a very good education. Her classmate Lois Kilbourne added, "Even at the Bristol Hospital, the work was far from easy. Now we can laugh about it." The building's legacy continued long after its days as a training school. Until 1981, it served as rental housing for nurses and hospital staff. Today, the historic structure houses several medical practices affiliated with Bristol Hospital, maintaining its connection to healthcare while standing as a testament to generations of nursing education. When World War II erupted, Bristol Hospital felt the impact deeply. 33 staff members answered the nation's call. 12 doctors, 17 registered nurses, 3 kitchen staff and 1 secretary. These Bristol professionals joined the ranks of thousands of American servicemen and women serving both stateside and overseas. Bristol's community responded to the medical staff shortage with remarkable creativity. In 1942, 45 local men stepped forward to form the Bristol Hospital Male Volunteer Corps. After completing an 8-hour crash course, these volunteers committed to 4-hour weekly shifts, working around their primary job schedules to keep the hospital functioning. The departure of medical professionals created unprecedented challenges for civilian hospitals across America. Bristol's story was just one example of a nationwide shortage that demanded innovative solutions. In response, the federal government launched the Cadet Nurse Corps in 1943, backing it with $150 million, approximately $2.5 billion in today's dollars, a testament to the program's critical importance. The Cadet Nurse Corps proved revolutionary in multiple ways. In an era of widespread segregation, it distributed funds equally to all nursing students and schools, regardless of race or ethnicity. The program's offer was compelling: free tuition, books, uniforms, and a living stipend in exchange for completing training in 30 months and serving through the war's duration. Through an extensive recruitment campaign utilizing movies, radio shows, billboards, and posters, the program consistently met its goals, attracting women between 17 and 35 years old. The war opened unprecedented opportunities for women in military service, with more than 350,000 joining various branches. Among these, military nurses faced some of the most challenging conditions. Members of the Army Nurse Corps, Navy Nurse Corps, and Cadet Nurse Corps worked in field hospitals under primitive conditions, living in tents, facing shortages of basic necessities, and treating devastating combat injuries just miles from the front lines. Two of the nurses from Bristol who answered the call to serve were Doris White and Roberta Minor. Doris White was born on December 27, 1919 to parents Ben and Jessie White. She grew up at 27 Irving Street. After graduating from Bristol High School, she completed her nursing education at Waterbury Hospital School of Nursing in 1941. She began her career as a night nurse at the prestigious Taft School in Watertown, Connecticut. Her commitment to service deepened when she joined the Army Nurse Corps in 1943. After completing training at Fort Devens, Massachusetts, White served with distinction on the 5th Hospital Train in England. Her military career saw her rise to the rank of First Lieutenant by 1945, and she earned both the European African Middle Eastern Ribbon and the World War II Victory Ribbon for her service. Perhaps one of her most unique contributions came through the Aircraft Warning Service, where she served as a volunteer aircraft spotter protecting America's coastline. This role earned her a Special Certificate of Honorable Service from the 1st Fighter Command, complete with observer wings, a predecessor to today's Civil Air Patrol. In August 1945, she married Dr. Anthony Doc Jacob in Chicago. Never straying far from her calling, White continued her nursing career as a school nurse while furthering her education with an associate's degree from the University of Chicago. Her life story exemplifies dedication to both military service and healthcare, leaving a lasting legacy of commitment to helping others. Roberta Minor was born on January 6, 1920, in New York. By 1930, she was living in Terryville, where she was raised from there on out. She graduated from Terryville High, and afterwards attended the Boston City Hospital and School for Nurses, where she obtained her RN. She came back to Terryville, and by 1942 was a nurse employed at Bristol Hospital. On August 10, 1943, she enlisted in the Navy and became a WWII. While in the service, she met her husband Robert Harris, also in the Navy, and the two were married in Jacksonville, Florida on July 31, 1945, after only knowing each other for 6 weeks. She was discharged from service on January 11, 1946. Lois Kilbourne's remarkable journey began on June 12, 1913, in the close-knit community of Southington. Born to Olin and Gertrude Kilbourne, she found her calling in nursing early on, graduating from Bristol Hospital School of Nursing in 1933. Her dedication shone through as she rose to oversee the operating room, but a greater calling awaited. As World War II raged, Lois answered her country's call, joining the Army Nurse Corps on August 24, 1942. Her service with the 84th Chemical Mortar Battalion took her from the humid grounds of Camp Rucker, Alabama, through Fort Jackson, and across the Atlantic to England and Germany. Her courage under fire earned her a Silver Star with Bronze Arrowhead, a testament to her bravery in uniform. It was during these tumultuous years that she found love, meeting her future husband while they both served their country. The 84th Chemical Mortar Battalion was a United States Army unit during World War II, primarily operating in the Italian campaign. Formed in 1942, it initially served in North Africa before deploying to Italy in 1943. The battalion was known for its support of various infantry divisions with mortar fire, including during the Anzio landing. It was credited with 5 campaigns and 2 assaults before being inactivated in Italy in September 1945. After her discharge on March 8, 1946, Lois returned to her beloved Southington, where she and her husband married and welcomed their daughter. When her daughter was grown, Lois returned to her first passion, Nursing. Spending 2 decades caring for patients at Bradley Hospital from 1960 to 1980. She remained in Southington until 2001, when the loss of her husband led her to move to Virginia to be closer to her daughter. There, in 2002, this pioneering nurse, decorated veteran, and devoted mother completed her life's journey. In the summer of 1922, July 24th, as the world was still healing from the Great War, Betty Bryant was born in Farmington to Henry and Ellen Bryant. Little did anyone know that this daughter of Connecticut would soon answer her nation's call during humanity's next great conflict. Driven by both wanderlust and a desire to serve, Betty enrolled at the Hartford Hospital School of Nursing. By 1943, with her nursing pin freshly fastened to her uniform, she joined the Army Nurse Corps just as the Allied forces were preparing for their greatest challenge yet. After basic training, Betty's first assignment took her to a psychiatric hospital in the South. But it was her service in Normandy, France that would test everything she had learned. Like many of the first nurses who arrived in Normandy, Betty found herself working in a tent hospital, where ingenuity became as crucial as medical training. Her daughters would later hear few stories, but one she did share was about the humble helmet, a piece of equipment that proved to have 101 uses, as she'd say. It served as everything from a makeshift sink to an impromptu washing machine, and yes, even as an emergency throw-up bucket. What Betty never spoke about to her daughters, like many of her fellow nurses who served under German shellfire, were the harrowing moments of caring for wounded soldiers while explosions lit up the Norman sky. Instead, she focused on the practical aspects of her service, perhaps finding comfort in the mundane details that helped her cope with the extraordinary circumstances of war. When peace finally came in 1946, Betty returned to Bristol Hospital as an RN, but the call of service proved too strong to resist. She rejoined the Army, and it was during this second chapter that she found not just a career, but love. After meeting her future husband in uniform, she balanced her roles as an officer, nurse, and eventually, mother to 3 daughters. Betty concluded her military service as a lieutenant, returning to Bristol Hospital and later continuing her caring mission at Lake Convalescent Home. Her story stands as a testament to the nearly 120,000 nurses who served during World War II, each one playing a crucial role in saving countless lives while making their own mark on history. Betty Bryant's journey from a small Connecticut town to the beaches of Normandy and back again reminds us that extraordinary courage often comes wrapped in everyday dedication. Agnes Axamet's story reads like a Hollywood script, but it's all true. Born in Massachusetts in 1918 to Frank and Agatha, she chose a path that would take her from the operating room to the skies above the Pacific. Agnes worked as a surgical nurse at Bristol Hospital when World War II changed everything. She joined the military in June 1943, becoming one of only 500 women who served as flight nurses in the entire U.S. Army Air Force. Her journey took her from basic training in Springfield to the Army Air Force evacuation, where she learned to be a flight nurse. This wasn't your typical nursing job. These winged angels had to master crash procedures, survival training, and understand how high altitudes affected their patients. By May 1945, she was flying rescue missions in the South Pacific with the 5th AAF, while her brothers served their own tours of duty. Joseph with an evacuation hospital in Germany, and Walter with an engineering unit in the Pacific. For 7 months, Agnes flew through some of the war's most challenging territories, earning the Philippines Liberation Medal, Asiatic Pacific Ribbon, Victory Ribbon, and American Theater Ribbon. She reached the rank of first lieutenant in the Army Nurse Corps, a testament to her skill and dedication. Born December 6, 1915, Stella Kornacki grew up in a military family, the daughter of Walter and Lottie Kornacki. After graduating from Terryville schools, she pursued her calling at the Bristol Hospital School of Nursing, but destiny had greater plans for her talents. On June 10, 1943, as the war raged across the Pacific, Stella traded her civilian nurse's uniform for that of a second lieutenant in the Army Nurse Corps. Her assignment would take her aboard the USS Hope, a massive comfort-class hospital ship that served as a floating sanctuary for wounded servicemen. As captain of a 64-bed ward, Stella navigated the vast expanse of the South Pacific, her hands healing both in the medical ward and, when duty called, in the ship's surgical unit. The USS Hope itself was a marvel of wartime engineering. Fresh from the Consolidated Steel Corporation shipyard in Wilmington, California, she was one of 3 hospital ships built by the Navy for the Army, a testament to the unprecedented cooperation required by the war effort. Under the command of medical professionals like Stella, the ship would become a symbol of mercy amid the chaos of war. Rising to the rank of captain, Stella's dedication earned her multiple service ribbons and Bronze Service Stars as she sailed through various ports across the South Pacific. But when the war ended and she received her discharge on February 2, 1946, Stella Kornacki chose a different path. Rather than return to nursing, she found a new calling in the Plymouth school system. For the next 3 decades, she shaped young minds as a teacher and emerged as a leader in her community, eventually becoming president of the Plymouth Education Association. Though she never married, Stella's legacy lived on through the countless lives she touched, first as a healer of wounded soldiers, then as a mentor to future generations. In the spring of 1918, as the First World War was drawing to a close, Evelyn Coletti was born to Italian-American parents Angelina and Donato in Norwich, Connecticut. After completing her nursing training at Heaton Hospital in September 1943, Evelyn answered her country's call. With Hitler's forces still holding much of Europe, she joined the Army Nurse Corps in January 1944, becoming part of the legendary 184th General Hospital Unit. At Fort Devens, she underwent rigorous military training, 192 hours of instruction that transformed her from a civilian nurse into an Army officer. She learned everything from managing chaotic wartime wards to transporting wounded soldiers, all while mastering the intricate dance of military protocol. By April 1944, Evelyn found herself crossing the Atlantic, part of the largest medical mobilization in military history. She was among the Army nurses who would serve in the European theater. In England, and later France, she worked tirelessly in the 254th Field Hospital, helping to heal countless wounded soldiers fresh from the front lines. Her dedication didn't go unnoticed. In May 1945, as victory bells rang across Europe, Evelyn received her promotion to first lieutenant. After 19 months overseas, she finally returned home, first to Camp Miles Standish in Massachusetts, then to Fort Dix, carrying with her memories that would last a lifetime. But Evelyn's story didn't end with the war. In 1952, she married Charles Fitzgerald and settled into a peaceful life on Milton Road in Forestville, Connecticut. She continued her calling as a nurse at Bristol Hospital for another 22 years, retiring in 1989. Her wartime service may have ended, but her commitment to caring for others never did. Evelyn passed away in Forestville on April 15, 2003, leaving behind a legacy of service, courage, and compassion that spanned 2 continents and touched countless lives. She was part of a remarkable generation of nurses who not only witnessed history but helped shape its course through their selfless dedication to healing others. Born to Italian immigrants in 1918, Carmela La Rosa grew up in a bustling neighborhood at 37 Poplar Street. The 6th of 9 children, she found her calling when her mother's successful medical treatment inspired her to become a nurse. Little did she know this decision would lead her to adventure, love, and heroism. When World War II erupted, Carmela traded her position at New York's prestigious Bellevue Hospital for a lieutenant's bars in the Army Nurse Corps. Her wartime story reads like a romance novel. She met her future husband, Harry Halstead, on a bus at Camp Claiborne when he asked her about catfish. But duty called them in opposite directions. She to the Philippines, he to North Africa. Her journey to the Pacific became the stuff of legends. She earned her Crossing the Equator certificate on a Navy transport ship that later ran out of food. Upon arriving in Manila, fate served up what she would later call the best sandwich she ever had, a simple onion and mustard combination from a Bristol soldier who recognized her as a La Rosa from back home. In the Philippines, Carmela wasn't just saving lives. She was living life to the fullest, even winning a bathing suit contest between treating wounded soldiers. Her courage under fire at a field hospital earned her the prestigious Silver Star Medal, a testament to her bravery in caring for the injured while under enemy attack. After the war, she reunited with Harry, married at New York City Hall, and followed his law career to California. In San Marino, she balanced motherhood with volunteer nursing at Huntington Memorial Hospital, finding joy in cooking, entertaining, and tending her beloved rose garden until her passing in 2002 at age 83. Carmela La Rosa Halstead's life was a testament to the greatest generation, from the daughter of immigrants to decorated war hero, from a chance romance to a fulfilled California dream. Catherine Jean Cutware, known simply as Jean, was born in 1923 in South Hero, Vermont. Her early years were divided between Vermont and Bristol, Connecticut, where her father worked at the Ballard Company to support the family. After graduating from Bristol High School, Jean earned her RN from St. Francis School of Nursing in Hartford in 1944. After graduating from Bristol High School, Jean earned her RN from St. Francis School of Nursing in Hartford in 1944. When her BSN scholarship to Catholic University was cancelled due to World War II, she joined the U.S. Army Nurse Corps. She was assigned to a unit treating soldiers with severe eye injuries and later recalled to her daughters anything having to do with the eyes was the only part of nursing that made her queasy. She served for 2 years between Cushing General Hospital in Framingham, Massachusetts, and Fort Bragg, North Carolina, caring for wounded servicemen returning from both theaters of war. After her military service, Jean married William Bonnier in 1946 and completed her BSN while pregnant with her second child. The couple raised 6 children in Milford, Connecticut, where William served as judge of probate until his early death at 47. Jean then worked as Milford's town nurse for 24 years before joining Yale Medical Center's elderly safety research until age 79. Throughout her life, she remained active in outdoor activities and community service. Known as Nana Jean to many, she passed away on November 30, 2016, receiving a military funeral service with full honors, a fitting tribute to her wartime service, which remained one of her proudest achievements. Marie Sandstrom entered the world in 1920. Born to Gustave and Augusta, she would grow up to become one of Bristol's most remarkable daughters. After completing her education in Bristol's local schools, Marie answered the call of duty during World War II, earning the rank of First Lieutenant in the Nursing Corps. Her assignment would take her halfway across the world to Chabua, India, where she served with the 234th General Hospital in the China-Burma India Theatre, CBI. At the Dinjan Air Base, which had become a crucial supply artery between India and China following Singapore's fall, Marie, known affectionately as Sue, tended to an endless stream of patients. Her skilled hands cared for both Burma evacuees and the brave pilots and crew members who flew the Hump, the treacherous air route over the Himalayas. One of her most memorable stories unfolded on a day when she was off duty. A C-46 crew she had recently nursed back to health decided to take a newly maintained aircraft on what should have been a routine test flight to Agra. But their adventure nearly turned into an international incident at India's most famous monument. As they approached the majestic Taj Mahal, the crew couldn't resist a closer look. In a moment of daring, they initiated a steep dive toward the magnificent structure. Just as they drew perilously close, closer than any sane pilot would dare, they attempted to pull up. At that precise moment, the left engine failed. With the C-46's single-engine performance insufficient for the climb, the pilot executed a desperate turning maneuver, barely missing one of the Taj's iconic minarets before making an emergency landing at Agra. What could have been a catastrophic diplomatic disaster was narrowly averted. Before leaving India, Marie's service earned her a profound honor. The Burqa warriors presented her with a ceremonial Burqa knife, a sacred gesture in their culture. Years later, this precious artifact would meet an inglorious end when her son Mike, much to his father's dismay, used it to chop ice from the gutters and broke it. According to her son Mike, "I broke it chopping ice in my dad's gutter." Fortunately, Ma had been gone several years. Pa was not pleased. Back home, Marie continued breaking barriers. She became the first woman to hold an administrative position at Bristol Hospital, rising to supervisor of nursing. But perhaps her most impressive achievement was juggling the demands of raising 5 children and working full-time while earning her bachelor's degree. A testament to the remarkable determination that defined her life. The military nurses of World War II redefined what service meant. They worked in field hospitals from Normandy's blood-stained beaches to the steaming Pacific jungles, treating wounds that would haunt them for decades. These women didn't just save countless lives. They shattered the notion that courage had a gender. While their own journey to full military integration would take decades, they lit the path forward. Today's female soldiers serve in combat roles their predecessors could only imagine, standing as proof that when America calls, women have always been ready to answer.
Bob's words of wisdom. War is for men, but these nurses showed that women will endure.